Will you still try to get rank 1 NA before TF Blade and rank 2? Well, how do I explain it to you? Going for rank 1 NA, the only issue with it is that for the first 6 hours of my stream, we have 30-minute queue times. Why not delay the EUS Chow grind for now? Because the thing is, so the problem is right now my happiness... Let me explain. I didn't actually talk about this. But right now my happiness is very, 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 very flexible. So what do I mean by that? I mean that I'm very happy because I hit Challenger NA, right? This makes me happy. No doubt about it, I am happy because of it. But the problem is that all it would take is one bad day of solo queue and I would not be happy anymore. I would be very angry, right? So what this means is that right now I have one account, right, that dictates my mental state. One. And I'd rather say, you know what? While I'm still happy with this account, I'm gonna grind EU for a bit. Because the thing about playing in Smurf queue is that you genuinely need to 1v9 every game. It is harder to 1v9 in Smurf queue than it would be in Challenger. Seriously. Ask any Challenger player, they'll tell you the same, right? And that's why, since my build is getting nerfed on Wednesday, I would rather set up this account to be like Diamond 2 with like Challenger MMR by then, so that we're gonna be fine. You know what I mean? It's just so that we're gonna be fine. And the NA grind will continue, right? But it's just that queue times are just too cancer. Like, imagine I want to queue up on NA right now. Look at this queue time. Let me show you. Oh, it's not that bad right now, actually. But anyways, typically it's like literally fucking... I guess right now it's because it's like 3 p.m. Yeah. Usually I start stream around like 10 a.m. So from 10 a.m. until like 1 p.m. usually, I have 30-minute queues. That's like 3 hours. 3 to 4 hours of like 20-minute queues, right? So that's why I would just rather sit there, prep an EUS account, because right now I feel like accomplished on NA, right? I don't feel like going for more. And it's like by hitting Grandmaster or Challenger EU, I would feel like, you know what? Now let me push NA. And I'll get that like fire and that desire again. But right now I don't have that like fire to climb NA. I'm gonna be honest. It's like I hit Challenger, and I do want more, but I don't have that burning desire within. That's what makes me as 1v9 as it makes me. And the way I know this as well is because in the past, like last year or like earlier this year when I had hit Challenger, I would always spam games on that account after, and I would just lose. I would lose and I would demote, right? So right now it's about not making the same mistakes that we've always made. That's what this run is about. Doing it right. You think Raw will nerf Chemtech Chainsword? They already said they are. They're increasing the gold cost of it by 200. Which, I mean, isn't terrible. But okay. You should consider proving grounds and expanding your champion pool. You're only 20? No. Playing pro doesn't interest me. Playing pro is sitting there, having scrims, having games, and doing all this cancer shit for the chance to go LCS? No. Having to do fucking, like, perma fucking VOD reviews and stuff? No, not worth it. VOD reviews are cringe and rarely do much unless they're spot on. Yeah, but the problem is that if you're playing and you're trying to go pro, you have to like perma VOD review. Like, I'm not joking, you literally have to like perma VOD review. Even going semi-pro is draining? Yes, I know. If you have the opportunity to stream, giving away that opportunity to go pro is just completely grief. I'm gonna be honest with you when I say that. The opportunity to stream is 1 billion times better than the opportunity to go pro. Nice. I mean, I die for that, but trading 1-for-1's actually fine, really. At least join a team and play tournaments for cash prizes. Why? You see what I'm getting at? It's just like, why? Why would I do that? So that what? I could win a tournament and get like... I have to put in weeks of practice to win a $5,000 tournament? Fuck that. $5,000 for the team, by the way. Have to pay the coaches, have to pay the fucking all the other players. No, it's not worth it. This shit isn't worth it. Like, once you get into the scene, you realize that in all the high-low players, the ones who are paid the least are the fucking pros. Like, unless you're literally LCS, literally, or Academy, you are making shit. The only time it's worth it is if you're on an Academy team or like A-list team. That's it. Being a booster or streamer makes more than pros, and you also stress us. I wouldn't agree with that. Boosting is stressful, and so is streaming to a certain extent. If anything, I'd say of the three, going pro, boosting, and streaming, boosting is probably the most stressful. Because, like, as a pro, you have to understand that the money you make is pretty much guaranteed, right? And if you just perform, then you're fine, right? Same thing with streaming. It's like, if you can be entertaining, it's fine. You still need to be high elo, right? But it's not like every game matters. But the problem is, as a booster, every single game matters. Every single game is money. In America, the average professional video gamer earns more than the average professional soccer player. Well, obviously, soccer's not big in America. And I said, if you can join an A-list team, it's worth it. Stevens got offered a spot on Immortals, like, starting lineup. And I think he was offered, like, 80 grand US a year. Years ago, like 3-4 years ago. But Steven sucks, lol. Yeah, but the time I'm talking about, like season 8, back then he was ranked 10. He was literally the highest ranked top laner on the entire ladder. It's like he was ranked 10, and the next highest ranked top laner was ranked 40. He was literally the best, like literally the best top laner on the region. Why are there not as many people who aren't white in the pro scene? I mean, it probably has to do with like average level of income. How many like actual, like, let's say black or whatever else, like, it's not racism. Like, that's the thing you also have to understand. It has nothing to do with race. It's not like, oh, there are no, like, let's say black players in the LCS right now because they're racist. No. It's just because how many black players are there actually in high elo? I can think of like maybe two, like, no bullshit. And are those guys trying to go pro? You have to take into account like things other than just like a surface level observation. There's Afromoo, yeah, exactly. Like, there are people, it's just that there aren't many. It's not racism, but it is race. Koreans are the majority of LCS now. Yeah, because Koreans are the best. What do you want me to say? Koreans are the best players, so they get the best spots. It's literally all imports in the LCS. This is my take. My take is that's the reason why the LCS is dying. The amount of imports that NA brings in is the reason why LCS is dying. Because you literally can't get attached to any names, since it's like they'll just bring in some fucking like Chinese or Korean player that you've never heard of, and it's like now all of a sudden this guy's on a team you've been cheering for years, and you're like, who is this? That's a problem with LCS. Problem with LCS is that you can't get attached to any teams, because they just like, they look for new players to fix all their problems. And then it's like, the fan base? How the fuck is the fan base supposed to sit there and like actually feel like supporting a team when it's like you're just supporting a name, you know? Back in the day, everyone that was big on an NA team was a streamer as well. That's the other issue. The problem is nowadays that just having a name isn't enough to make it in the streaming scene, unless you've been there for years. There are a lot of LCS pros that get like 50 viewers on their streams, or LEC pros 50 viewers. I mean, Mordekaiser's just dead, no? Nice. I should just take Graves' entire bot side. Nice. Alright, that's game. We got the shutdowns we needed before the dragon fight on top of it. What do you think about grinding to go pro in order to play 1 to 2 years in pro and then going full-time streaming because people will watch you then? The thing is, that's a viable thing to do if you're an intelligent person. So I'll give you an example of people who are smart. Jojo Pyun. Jojo's Pyun right now is the only guy in the LCS who I think is intelligent. Seriously. And I'll tell you why. I don't know if any of you know what I'm talking about, but this guy will like always tweet out like, oh, I'm about to shit on this guy, I'm about to shit on that guy, like, oh, dude, playing versus this guy today, I'll fucking shit on him, right? And he makes himself kind of like the enemy with the cockiness and shit, but it makes him stand out from everyone else. So then one day, if this guy starts streaming, people know his name because he stands out. But if you're just sitting there like any regular pro, no one's gonna remember your name. It's like if you think of hockey teams back in the day, for example, right? You say the name Wayne Gretzky, everyone knows who you're talking about. But how many other people on that team were there who it's like nobody remembers them nowadays and nobody would recognize their name? I don't know. People are just like, as long as you're intelligent, that's all it takes. But not everybody's intelligent. Tukoi is smart as fuck. Is that the guy? I saw him, yeah, the guy with the like disease thing. Yeah, but it's stuff like that. Like, you need to be someone that's memorable. And the problem is nowadays most LCS players just go on stage and they think that going 3-3 as Gangplank versus Gnar is enough to make them memorable. It's not. You're gonna be forgotten in a few years, you know. That's exactly what Doublelift did. He shit-talked everyone. Exactly. And look where Doublelift is now. You know? But you don't have to shit-talk everyone. A good example is like Yankos, right? Or Broxa. These are people who are very like soft-spoken, like chill people, right? But just by being consistent, they manage to also make followings. So that's the thing. It's like there are multiple avenues of going about it, but like most pros are just like, they're just not smart. Like they're good at the game, but they just aren't smart when it comes to anything outside of like the game and wave states. And that's why it's so insane to me. Oh, I can't. Because like that's why it's so insane to me as well. Because let's say you want to become a pro, right? And let's say you already have a fan base. Like, for example, WoW, right? Like, the guy WoW on fucking EU. This is a guy who already has, like, a big fan base. So it's like if a team were to bring this guy, for example, as, like, a starting top laner, they could increase their hype so fucking much. You see what I'm talking about? And I think that's what K-Corp did. They just brought in a bunch of people who already had hype around them, right? They brought in, like, Reckless and, like, all these different people who had all this hype. And then because of that, it's like, oh, you build a fan base for your... Fuck me. But the thing is, it's an investment, right? Because imagine a team has a chance to, like, draft somebody or bring somebody in who already brings some of their own following, right? And it's like you already get hype from that. But, like, most pro players don't understand that. They think like, no, dude, I just seem to do really good in scrims, and as long as I do really good in scrims, it's like, dude, fuck your scrims, bro. Fuck your fucking scrims, bro. That's all that matters. Alright, let's just hit this. Fucking... Oh, that's so unreal, though. I mean, if we had Sivir DPSing instead of shoving mid, that would have never even had the chance to get stolen, but low Sivir. Also, can't be a pro and an OTP, right? Wrong! Wrong! Most of the famous names that you know nowadays were once OTPs. Faker, Doaenel, right? Those are the Koreans, the really well-known Koreans. If you look in the LEC or the LCS, I'm sure you can find many others. Because what you have to understand is, let's say I'm an OTP Hecarim who hits Challenger. It means that my mechanics on Hecarim are good enough that I can hit Challenger with it, right? So if you just coach me for 10 hours a day and give me the decision making, then I already have such good mechanics that then I can play pretty much any jungler. It's logical. OTPs actually make the best pro players. That's not even a joke. Because they already have the mechanics. They have what can't be taught. Right? Oh, that's actually fucking disturbing. Does he have Sunfire? Of course. Of course. But we still win, so it's fine. Broken Blade was a Riven OTP? Yep. General Sniper. Everyone calls this guy like the best fucking top laner in NA. Guess what? That guy's gonna go pro soon. He was a Riven OTP. Showmaker was an OTP, yep. An OTP is someone who only plays one champ though. But that's what I'm trying to like make you guys understand, is that being an OTP, unironically, it's not like a bad thing for the pro scene. Right? Because you say I'm Challenger as an OTP, they'll be like, oh, you have potential. I avoided all the vision. Okay? I mean, is it enough though? I won't lie to you, this Sivir is doing well. Apart from that one time she griefed the game by like not coming to Baron, she's actually doing okay. Good news is now I get Death Sounds too, so I shouldn't die like that ever again. Okay, wait. I think we just hard force. I don't want to use Ghost though, I want to save for like Baron. Nice. Alright, good, we on. Perfect. Do you think Fiddle is a good champ to climb with? Yeah, but the thing about Fiddle is that he has literally no similarity to any other jungler in the game. So it's like, if you get good at Fiddle, like you'll only ever be good with Fiddle. Maybe like Fiddle Shaco, but like if you get good at Hecarim, it's like he's a full clearer, so it translates to skill with other champs too, right? But a champ like Fiddle, I don't know, dude. Plus 29? Holy fuck. Guys, I don't think you understand. If I'm gaining plus 29 in Platinum, it means when I get to Diamond, I'll be gaining 35 LP a game minimum.